If I fall, I'll go that way.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the February 12th Lebanon Board of Works meeting. Our first order of business will be the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just an announcement for the board. I know we got these new microphones up here, but they are not hooked on yet, so still continue to use the old ones.
Yeah.
So next meeting will be good, though. So, all right, move on to roll call members. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Mayor Gentry.
Here.
Becky McClure.
Excused.
Bill Stoner.
Excused.
Yes. Dick Robertson.
Here.
Alan Milburn.
Present.
Thank you.
All right, we have a quorum, so I'll move on to the approval of the minutes. We have the minutes?
We do. We have,
Couple?
yeah. 122, 18, 12, 12, and 1127.
4.
4.
I'll make a motion we approve the minutes for 122, 18, 12, 12, and 1127, correct?
Okay. We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Those are approved. All right, move on to department head reports. First up will be Police Department. Chief Morgan.
Good evening, board members. Since our last meeting, Lebanon Police Department has responded to 986 calls for service and have arrested 30 people for the following crimes. 1 for operating while intoxicated, 14 were wanted on a warrant, 2 for domestic battery, 1 for theft, 9 for drug-related charges, 1 for burglary, 1 for auto theft, 1 for driving while suspended. In that same time frame, LPD took 27 crash reports and sent 5 handgun permits off to the state for final approval. For our training, our FTOs went through a refresher course last week at LPD. They're required to do this every 2 years, so they're done for a couple years now. Our 3 new hires, Cody Hollingsworth, Parker Newman, and Caleb McCloskey, are in their sixth week at the academy. This last Friday they were off, so we had them go out to the range and do some firearms training before their next couple weeks. They'll start getting into the psychomotor skill stuff, the firearms, the DTs, and the EVOC. So we got the opportunity to spend a day with them out there on the range, get them ready. Last thing I have is we've already started working on our state mandates, trying to get them done earlier this year. We should get all of them done by March 31st, besides our DTs, firearms, and EVOC for the whole department. That's all I have.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions for Chief from the board?
Nope.
Public? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next will be Fire Department, Chief Batts. Freshly shaven, Chief Batts.
Excuse me?
Said freshly shaven, Chief
Freshly
Batts.
shaven. There's a fine line between
I
cool.
just got used to your mustache. That's all.
I know, there's a fine line between cool mustache and homeless sometimes. So it needed to be cleaned up a little bit. Since the last Board of Public Works and Safety meeting, Lebanon Fire has made 189 emergency calls of service, logged 580 training hours, completed 96 commercial inspections, finalized 9 commercial pre-plans, and instructed 4 CPR certification classes. On January 23rd, Deputy Chief Mike Baird officially retired from the City of Lebanon Fire Department. Chief Baird completed 31 years of service. We want to wish Chief Baird a happy and fulfilling retirement. Mike was in charge of our inspection program, and he just really improved that division for Lebanon Fire by leaps and bounds. Very dedicated. He's going to be sorely missed at LFD. January 26th through the 28th, firefighters Josh Messersmith and Tyler Rigdon completed ice water rescue technician level training, and we sent these 2 firefighters to Houston Ford, Wisconsin to receive this training. It was very intense, high impact training, and they came back with some great training cues for us to work on here at LFD. On Friday, February 9th, the LFD Honor Guard had the privilege of presenting the colors at the Lebanon Zionsville boys basketball game. This was also commemorating Pixie Playhouse along with Vicky, Rhea, and Becky. It was a great evening, and we're happy to participate in it. That's all I have for this evening.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions from the board for Chief Betts? From the public? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Next will be Parks and Recreation. Billy?
Evening, board members. Since our last meeting, the maintenance department at the park has been busy with winter maintenance, painting the park office, and installing new partitions in the Abner Longley and the memorial bathrooms. This past Saturday, we hosted open interviews at the Seashore Water Park, and we saw about 30 applicants, and were extremely busy. We look forward to our next date of March 2nd. We are partnering with Cookies by Debbie to bring a cookie decorating class to her cabin. This will be held on Saturday, March 2nd at 1 p.m. Please pre-register on our website. Cost is $15 per person. We recently shared a lot of information on our 2024 Eclipse events through our social media and on our website. The events will take place on Saturday, April 6th and Monday, April 12th. Please visit our website or give our office a call for more information. Our 2024 Easter egg hunt is set for Saturday, March 30th. We will have a special needs hunt beginning at 9:30 a.m., and the other hunts will begin at 10:30 a.m. This is free to the public. Okay.
On the eclipse, it's Monday, April 8th.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Monday, April 8th.
Yep.
Okay.
Just don't want anybody to write down the wrong.
Okay.
You'll have missed it.
I
Yep,
know.
Yeah, we won't want to miss it.
fair enough.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Billy. Any questions for Billy from the board?
No.
From the public? Thanks, sir. All right, next will be Engineering Department. Kevin?
Thank you. Good evening. Some updates on projects around town. I guess first and foremost, the room we're in, the council chamber audio-visual upgrades you're beginning to see some of those things take shape. New microphones, which aren't active, but will be active in the next couple of weeks, hopefully by the next time we meet, but we'll see how that goes. New televisions behind you on the wall. The old televisions have been moved out here to create a better experience for the audience. Also, some conferencing capabilities are being installed in the room behind us in that workroom. So a lot going on there. Should wrap up around the first week of March. And we're committed to not having any interruptions in the services needed for these meetings. We'll let you know if there's some reason we do need to reschedule or move a meeting or possibly conduct a meeting through a different form of technology. But the work is wrapped up every day by 5 o'clock so we can have the room back for evening meetings. But until we start cutting over the equipment into the sound room and the sound booth, that's when we kind of will wait and see how things go. But so far, everything's going smoothly. Other projects around town, just to update everyone, more work happening downtown. The Heart of Lebanon is working on the alley-oop project, so if you've seen some of the work going on in the alley on the north side of the square, that's what's happening there. I want to thank Jason, Department of Public Works, and Ryan Landrum with the Stormwater Department. He's working on coordinating saw cutting and removal of some pavement so we can tie some sump pump laterals into our storm sewer system so that we don't have those sump pumps pumping water and freezing water on that alley once it's activated. So a lot of work going on. We just have a small role in helping to take care of that stormwater issue, and that's really the Heart of Lebanon's project, though. Moving around the city to other projects, Fordyce Street, getting ready to move that forward. Remind everyone it's a trail extension project between East Street and Park Street. It is a trail extension, curbs, sidewalks, and resurfacing project between Park and Grant, and then from Grant all the way out to John Bart, it's a full reconstruction. We are under contract right now with Milestone Contractors. All the financing is in place through the stormwater bonds that were issued for that project, and we're beginning to see work start to materialize there. This last week, we met with the United Methodist Church. We're working with them to coordinate temporary access for the church, as well as for Mental Health America of Boone County, so that they can gain access off of Essex Drive. So we're working with the church to see if that's a possibility. Otherwise, we'll maintain access to them, as well as all residents who live on that street during construction. But if at all possible, we're working with the church to see if we can't find the alternate access to ease some of those coordination issues with the contractor and the traveling public through that corridor. So next steps for us is really setting up public meetings with Milestone. We'd like to have a public meeting and invite the public to come out, ask questions of the contractor. The contractor can present schedules at that time and get more information from our team, which is Milestone. GAI is our engineering consultant, and United Consulting is our inspection consultant on that. But we'd all like to be present for that meeting to let people ask questions about the project and get a better understanding as that moves forward. I remind everyone it's not scheduled to be complete until August of 2025, when the new Central Elementary School would open there at the northwest corner of John Bart and Fordyce. Jumping over to the other side of the city, Riley Road, the widening drainage and sidewalk project is moving forward at this point now. All contracts are in place. We are scheduled to have a pre-construction meeting on Thursday, and we're just kind of waiting for the utilities to get out of the way. It's the only thing that's really held up construction right now. They've got a major gas main that needs to be relocated before we can start construction. But we're hopeful to get started with that in the next couple of weeks per the schedule we've received from CenterPoint Energy. Other projects, the Elizaville Road Drainage Project, that is also moving forward at this point. We're working on some easement acquisitions, working through the legal department on those easements and trying to get those executed. So once we have those, which we anticipate would be within 30 days, we'd be issuing that notice to proceed for that storm sewer drainage project over there on Elizaville, really between Grant Boulevard and Winding Way. Active living programs for the year, those are getting ready to ramp up. We'll have the cost share program that will be rolling out here shortly. In fact, later tonight, we'd have the notice of award for our sidewalk replacement, removal and replacement costs and our contract associated with that. So once that's in place through the DPW supply bid program, we'll be able to roll that program out. We're also working with our contractors on the Big Four Trail to extend the project from last year for approximately another mile of Big Four Trail reconstruction on the northwest side of town. Regional detention, at this point, we've got preliminary approvals from CSX. We're working on wrapping up our approvals with NDOT before we complete that major pipe crossing of 39 and the CSX railway tying our regional conveyance system into sanitary ditch. Chadwick Ditch Drainage Study, that is also kicking off this week. Hopefully we'll have more to report here shortly as that moves forward with our consultants that are studying the ditch on the north and northeast side of Chadwick. Projects are a little bit further out there. I'm sorry, one project still remaining. The Grant Street project, we're getting ready to start ramping up for spring construction. Preliminary meetings are being held this week and towards the end of March to get ready for April construction so that we can plant the final trees and put the final surface coat on there. We're also working with our contractors at 317 Plummer for the sump pump replacements. They've done their diligence of door-to-door investigating all the sump pump systems. We only have 6 sump pump systems to reconnect, possibly 2 more that are being studied right now, but we're currently working through that, and we'll hopefully be completing those sump pump reconnections here shortly into the sump pump system that was installed with the storm sewer project.
That's less than we kind of expected, isn't it?
It is. It is. I think what we found is there's a lot of homes that either didn't have sump pumps, didn't have basements, or they're currently pumping east into the Edgewood neighborhood, and there's no need to replace what was not lost with the Grant Street project.
Interesting.
Grant Street Phase 2, so talking about future projects now, that's out a little ways, but right-of-way offers are being presented to property owners as we speak to move that forward. Keep in mind, that's a 2026 project. That's Grant Street Phase 2. The Noble Street project is still under consideration by NDOT. I would expect early to mid-March, we would typically, we hear awards about these federal aid projects. So that's the reconstruction of Noble Street from 39 to 32. Other projects that were submitted is the County Road 300 North project from 39 to Witt Road. Reminding that project, if it was awarded, would be funded by the state and the IEDC for the reconstruction of that project. Other projects through other departments, park projects, talk about Stone Eater Bike Park. Really, there's not much been happening lately at the park, but we have been working since we opened bids on the third round of rebidding for the parking lots and infrastructure packages on the 22nd at your last meeting. We've also been working with the contractor, the only contractor that bid on that, Milestone Contractors, on trying to do some value engineering to get the cost down. We had a pretty high numbers that were submitted for that, but we think we've got some value engineering. We've also eliminated some projects for future needs, like the water service, the electric service, the maintenance building for the Parks Department, possibly eliminating half of the parking spaces. And we've got the project down to where we're at about a funding shortfall of $220,000. Still working with the contractor on getting that number down further, and also working with various corporate partners how we might bridge that gap. But that's where we're at right now, and that number keeps going down. If you were to ask me that a week ago, we were at 290, and it was our funding shortfall. Now we're down to 220 as of a couple of hours ago. So we keep whittling away at that and finding ways to build it cheaper.
Yeah, Kevin, question. Were we required to pay the parking lots by the county? Is that the?
We are, yeah. Both
Okay.
the city and the county have similar ordinances that only allow for gravel parking for temporary needs for up to 1 year. So what we priced out in the bidding package that we opened at the last meeting was building the entry drive, then building the first 25 spaces, then building the last 33 spaces. So when I get to that $220,000 number of our shortfall, I am removing the last 33 spaces, not building any of that at this time. So trying to pare the project down to get it to fit into that $2 million budget. And of that $2 million, we're down to about $1.2 million left to spend after the work that's already been done with mass earthwork and mass earthwork, fencing, landscaping, and the groundwater monitoring systems.
I'm just thinking off the cuff here. Did you consider the idea of maybe being it's a rural setting area, maybe just doing a chip and seal parking lot instead of a paved parking lot, and so that way it stays kind of that rural country look a little bit?
That's a possibility. I hadn't thought about chip and seal. We have to build the first 50, 60 feet, and that's in the NDOT right-of-way per
Sure.
their standards, of course.
Sure.
But beyond that, yeah, we could look at that.
I'm just thinking of ways that we could try to keep it, make it
Yeah.
rural looking as opposed to, here we got this big piece of
Yeah.
blacktop out there that, you know, you're.
The problem you
know, we
get,
got this
right?
We got this big piece of blacktop out there for a park that's in the country and it's dirt, you know? And it's like, everyone I've seen does not have a black parking lot.
Yeah.
A paved
No,
parking.
I totally understand what you're saying. You know, the reality is that removing all the parking only saves me $107,000.
Yeah.
There's just not a lot of money there. They're not big ticket line items. We've already removed those with things like water, electric, the maintenance facility. You know, we're scraping for change in the couch cushions at this point. There's just not a lot of big ticket items we can flat out remove, unless we start significantly cutting the scope of trail projects and things of that nature. But even that, the whole trail project is $340,000. So we're nearing to the point where I think we've almost cut as much as we can out of it, which is why we've reached out to the Community Foundation, we've reached out to other local foundations, corporate partners that we've talked to in the past about potentially partnering with us and seeing if we can raise some more capital for the project as well. So we're kind of approaching it from both fronts of trying to whittle down the price as much as we can, but also looking at other opportunities to raise money for the project.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah, lot going on there, but no, thank you for the questions. That always helps to round out people's understanding. Other projects that are ongoing, park projects. That's the master plan for the reuse of the old street department garage. We had a planning kickoff meeting on the 31st. Working through that process with those consultants. V3, where we talked about a lot of different possibilities of what we want and don't want at the park, but also primarily what we're talking about is how we get community engagement associated with that project. Through park events, at the pool, Leprechauns events, high school sporting events, making sure that we're engaging the public through surveys and community interaction, that we really understand what the public wants to see built at that park.
Who's doing that plan now?
That is V3, is the V3 consultants.
Okay.
They were also the consultants that did all the environmental studies on it.
Oh, okay.
So because they have that background of the Phase 1 and Phase 2 studies, that leads them right into being able to design with those parameters in mind. And they have a strong landscape architecture department as well.
And we can use the brownfields grant
Right.
monies from the
Yeah, I
feds
remember that.
yep.
Yeah, keep in mind, that the money for this study is coming from existing active living funds and brownfield monies. So there's no additional appropriations needed for this study. Other projects, the pickleball court reconstruction, Big Four Trailhead at just off of Sam Ralston behind Menards. The fishing pier project, those are all really in the same phase right now, which is we're engaging design consultants to work through proposals and or get projects started with those consultants. And then there's other projects like additional pass at Admiral Longley, the Frisbee golf package, playground equipment at Admiral Longley. Lots of additional miscellaneous projects that are also ongoing out there throughout the park system. Police departments, we'll be talking about this later in the meeting, but we're really right now focused on some sewer backups and plumbing fixture repairs that we need to take care of. And those things really kind of started to get worse late last week. So something that we kind of shelved looking in November, looking to possibly rebid. Really what we're asking for later in the meeting is an emergency declaration so we can go straight to contract with some contractors on that and start making those repairs, because it's a bad, potentially dangerous situation with the sewage coming into the building. The fire department, obviously working with the BOT team on that package for the new fire department station. Nothing really to report at this time. Really, the next big step would be developing funding decisions and strategies for that that project. DPW, we've got bid awards tonight for our unit price bidding. We've also been working with them over the last couple of weeks on putting together the community crossing program. That grant was submitted at the end of February, and will be coming to you in the coming weeks to get approval on putting that project forward for bidding as we begin to near the end of that grant award cycle, which would probably be sometime in March or early April, typically is when they make those announcements. Leap District Road projects, really nothing new to report out there. Nothing has really changed. Everything's pretty much in its winter state right now until things ramp up in the coming weeks, which will primarily be road surfacing of all the projects, and then major reconstruction will be the area of Witt Road between 300 North and 375 for next summer. That's all I have.
Thank you, Kevin. Any questions for Kevin from the board?
No.
From the public? Thank you, sir. All right, next will be Planning Department. I know Ben's gone. Anybody guys report?
We do not have a report.
No? Okay. All right, we'll get that when Ben gets back. Public Works Department, Jason?
Good evening. So since we last met, Two of our DPW staff members, Bob Stevens and Archie Christ, they received their OSHA 10-hour cards, so congratulations to them. They worked really hard on that. There'll be more to come. I was a part of kicking off the city's construction standards with the engineering department last week, so that'll go well. We're going to update those standards along with the utilities. As Kevin said, our community crossings application is submitted. In the street department, our street department staff hung up the Eclipse banners downtown. And then I wanted to say, we are still patching potholes, but they are making surface now, so we are able to get that and hopefully do some more permanent repairs now, like a Council Drive, et cetera. Stormwater update. As Kevin reported, we do have our stormwater crew. They are working on a drainage project in the alley for Alley Oop. That's going well. Should be completed by the end of this week, our portion of that. MS4 and inspections, we had 17 SWIP inspections. We fielded 4 complaint calls, and we had 6 right-of-way inspections.
Okay. Thank you, Jason. Any questions for Jason from the board?
I don't.
For the public? Thanks, sir. All right, and last but not least, communications and community development. Joe LePage.
Good evening, everyone. A couple of different department heads have mentioned the Eclipse 2024 coming up here. Before we know it, we're doing 10-day incremental countdowns, and so we're less than 60 days, and so it will be here literally before we know it, that April 8th, 306, 307 path of totality that hits us here in Lebanon. To that point, you've heard a number of different department heads talk about different things that they're doing, great events that are taking place at our Parks Department, our Department of Public Works helping to put up banners and things like that. Kind of really a team effort and a culmination of great things happening within our community. That's where the bulk of my workload has fallen. We're tying up some loose ends. We're fine-tuning some things. Been meeting with the North Side group at the YMCA and Boone County Senior Services, also helping out the 4-H Fairgrounds. Just recently, they decided to have some camping options for the Eclipse weekend and adding some day of Eclipse food trucks. And so they're one of our 8 watch party locations that we have spread out throughout our community to help with traffic and getting everybody in and out, all the visitors that we have. But helping them kind of do what they do. More updates are coming throughout the days and weeks that lead up to the Eclipse. You can find all the information. Billy talked about the programming that's taking place and checking out the parks websites. We're redirecting folks to the parks website from the cities, and so you can go to lebanon.in.gov. We put all the Eclipse info right at the top, so you can click and get all that information, including a map of all the watch parties, where you can get glasses and gear and all those things. One-stop place for that great event that's coming our way. We're on the marketing side of that effort now, not only on social media, but also print, radio, and TV advertising. Met with the news director from WLFI TV 18 last week. They're going to be broadcasting live throughout the Eclipse event, having cut-ins and things. They're actually going live downtown on top of a building downtown. Got permission from the building owner, and so they'll be up top interviewing some of the folks that help make it possible for our city. And so they'll be doing that. They'll have a reporter on the ground and one up in the air and one at IMS. And so that's kind of a cool distinction to be able to have with not only the track, but also here in Lebanon as well. Also working closely with and really ramping up the efforts of intern Anna Hale. She's a Lebanon high school senior, really involved in wanting to be in the broadcast journalism field. And so she recently decided that she will be attending Anderson University. And so wanting to continue her love for telling stories through video and through print and through picture taking. And so she's working on her Learn in Lebanon promotional video, podcast, and print series. And so she finished up the second video that she has shot all on her own, taking a look at the prosecutor's office. A couple of fellow Lebanon high school seniors are interning there. She completed a podcast as well that she is editing. All this will be released soon. We want to have a couple of those stories in the can, like you can open it up like a can of soda, can of pop here in the Midwest. But she's also working on a landing page, a website, a web page where all this Learn in Lebanon information will be contained. And so she can promote it there herself, really have something to build on as she goes on to the next phase, and looking forward to
utilizing her efforts while we still have her, as the school year is winding down for her as well. And so looking forward to working with her as much as we can and see her bright future take place. So.
Thank you, Joe. Any questions for Joe from the board? For the public? Okay, thank you, sir. All right, that concludes department head reports. Move on to old business. I only have one thing, the engineering contract approval from GAI concerning Fordyce Road.
Thank you very much. I mentioned this kind of in my report, so I won't go into a whole lot more detail here, but what we have, this was tabled at the last meeting to get some further clarifications and some questions answered, but this is a supplemental agreement for GAI, who is the primary civil engineering contractor on the project. And really, this is to kind of make them whole for some project scope creep and increases, where we increased the trail length all the way over to East Street as we're going through that section of Park to Grant, doing new curbs along that section, a wedge and level asphalt project there. So really, this is just kind of make them whole on some of the scope that we've added to the project. Again, I mentioned added curb and gutter, driveway revisions, and parking mitigations for some of the people that are losing parking associated with the trail project, coordination with the school. I think that about covers all the line items, additional lighting design, and really just accounting for the project growing. So this is amendment number 3. This also covers all the construction administration, the work that has to be done to approve shop drawings and things like that, answer questions throughout the contractor process. So the total is for $131,340. That was baked into the grant funding of the project, so there's no additional appropriation needed, but it is for GAI for design amendment number 3, $131,340.
Any questions on that from the board for Kevin? Alan?
It's not a question, but I want to make a comment.
Yeah.
I want to compliment Kevin for arranging a meeting with the Centenary United Methodist Church, and that meeting was very productive. I attended the meeting, and I think all the players were there. Milestone was there, GAI was there, and it clarified some questions as well as was a productive meeting. So I just wanted to make a comment, and I'm more than happy to make a motion that we approve the engineering contract for GAI on the Fordyce Road construction for the administration of that as presented.
We have a motion to approve amendment number 3. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Dick. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved. Thank you, board. That's all I have for old business. Anything from you guys? No? Okay, new business then. First item up is a street closure request from That Sports Bar. Danielle?
I'm back. It's that time of year. So That Sports Bar throws the largest St. Patty's Day party in the area. And we just closed down Smith Street. We're the only address on the road. I actually own the house across the street. So I know the people. Everybody's cool. I give them gift cards to go out to dinner somewhere else so that we're not inconveniencing them. And we're probably going to close it, I'm thinking like noon to 5, if that's okay.
Okay. And this is just between south of 32 to Main Street?
Yeah,
Right, Smith Street?
March 16th.
March 16th, thank you.
Well, what's the date again?
March 16th.
March 16th?
And when does the event run from?
So it'll be March 15th through the 17th, but the big event is the 16th.
We need the street
from
closure. Yeah.
8 a.m. to 3 a.m. But so we're closing the road just to do the fire truck pull, which I'm trying to.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, that's all we're
Okay,
doing.
you just
Yeah,
need
yeah,
it for the fire truck pull.
Yeah,
Okay, I got you.
absolutely.
Okay.
So you need to close the 15th through the 17th?
No, just that one day, the 16th from
She's
noon
got
to
a parking
5,
lot for
just
the
for one
event.
little event.
All day?
Yeah.
8 to 3, right?
12 to 5. Right, is the request 12 to
12
5?
to 5, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Any questions on that? Hammer it out? Okay. Well, with that, we entertain a motion to approve the closure of Smith Street on March 16th from 12 to 5 for That Sports Bar.
I'll make a motion to approve the closure of Smith Street for That Sports Bar program on March 16th.
Motions are second?
Second.
Second from Alan. All fair side?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is approved. Thank you, Danielle.
Thanks, see you next
Are
year.
you just going to buy that street from us one of these days?
Maybe when you pave it first.
Okay, got it. Okay. That's how that works. Okay. All right. All right. Next will be some policy updates from the Lebanon Police Department. So SOGs, Major Hood.
We've got 7 this week. It's not as bad as it sounds. One of them is totally new content. It's kind of the one I gave you guys a little bit of a warning about last week. This is a new state-mandated policy entitled the Uniform Statewide Defensive Tactics Training Program. As I also mentioned the last time we met, it's in a different format than what you're used to seeing. We're not allowed to alter or change any element of this policy. This is the state telling us. So I'm not sure for new content, do I need to read this into the record, or can we?
I would say if it's only for, I would say we just need to talk about new content. If it's formatted and things like that, then I think I don't think there's any reason we need to do that. So I think I would just have any new content.
Okay, thank you, Mayor.
Yep.
Highlights, I guess, of this new policy on there is, in the past, each officer was mandated to have 2 hours of defensive tactics training that counted to their total of 24 that the state required we have each year. That total has now been increased to 4 hours, and all 4 hours have to be some kind of hands-on training. In the past, you could do some study of some use of force case law, or read some material on defensive tactics techniques, but that's gone. All 4 hours now must be hands-on training. We'll see some elements in here that you talk about where our defensive tactics instructors must be prepared to teach multiple techniques. The state is offering training program to ensure all of our instructors are certified to teach these techniques that they're now requiring. I think there's, of our instructors, most everybody is already certified to teach everything on there. We do have a couple guys that need to go through some of the upgraded training to teach some of the additional items the state tells us we need to cover. Did I lose my connectivity?
Did we lose the?
Yeah, I think it lost the picture.
That's why we're upgrading the system, guys. Major, were any of those policies ones that were strictly just no content changes that we could approve now? I mean, we've seen those, but.
The other 6 policies do have the addition of the, I guess, the nomenclature we've seen on state mandated policy.
Okay.
So there is some added verbiage to it, but it is just limited to recognizing the new state mandated policies.
I mean, we've seen all these boards, so unless there's any, I mean, were there any concerns or questions that we had on those changes that were proposed to any of us? I mean, Rob, is there a reason we need to go through all these if they're
available.
they're all publicly available? So, are you okay if we just?
I'm perfectly fine with that.
Okay, it looks like we have some IT challenges, so with that, would then entertain a motion to approve the standard operating guidelines for the Lebanon Police Department policy changes as presented to the board.
I'll make a motion, we approve the policy changes for the Lebanon Police Department.
Motions, are a second?
Second.
Second from Alan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Those are approved. Thank you, Major Hood.
Thank you.
All right, next will be the bid award for the Department of Public Works annual supply bids. Kevin?
Thank you very much. As I mentioned in my report, we opened bids for our annual supply bid packages on January 22nd. So what we're asking for tonight is permission to issue notice of award. We've reviewed the packages that were submitted by Triangle Asphalt Paving Corporation and Wilson Concrete, and found them to be the lowest, most responsive and responsible bidders. And so we are asking for approvals to issue those notices of award, subject to legal review and authorizing the mayor to sign on your behalf. Just a little bit more detail, the Triangle Asphalt Paving Corporation notice of award and bid package covers liquid bituminous material, NDOT number 11 surface milling and replacement, NDOT number 8 binder removal and replacement, NDOT number 9 binder removal and replacement, as well as miscellaneous 2-inch depth milling. The Wilson Concrete bid and notice of award covers concrete sidewalk removal and replacement and concrete ADA ramp removal and replacement. And that is, as I mentioned in my report, that's what we use to run our sidewalk cost share program every year. So again, 2 bids, 2 notices of award under our supply bid program for this year. Both are deemed to be the lowest, most responsible bidders, and would ask you for authorization to issue notice of award.
Any questions on that from the board? Okay, we entertain a motion then to issue bid awards as presented.
I would move we approve the bid award for Triangle Asphalt as well as Wilson Concrete, subject to legal review and approval of the mayor.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Those are approved. Thank you, Kevin. Next one would be the bid award concerning Stony Bike Park for the entry drive parking area, compacted aggregate road improvements, and storm sewer improvements.
Very good. Similar to the last item, these bids were opened on before you on the 22nd of January. We only had one bidder submit bids on this, and these were for packages ranging from all associated with the Stoneator Bike Park, but including the entry drive parking area, compacted aggregate and road improvements, as well as storm sewer improvements, and then also some miscellaneous supply and contingency items like additional stone and concrete, crushed concrete sourcing materials. So as I mentioned before, we've got some budgetary limitations on the project now that we're working through. And so what we are doing on this notice of award, again, Milestone Contractors is the bidder, and they were deemed to be the lowest, most responsive and responsible bidder. And for the purposes of moving things forward with negotiations, we would like to consider you to consider a notice of award not to exceed $690,923.88. And that is the money that we feel confident we have available in the budget allocated for these improvements. So again, it's a little bit different. We're asking for this notice of award to be not to exceed $690,923.88 for Milestone Contractors, as they are the lowest and most responsible and responsive bidder associated with the various Stoneator Bike Park packages that we opened last month.
Any questions on that from the board? I'm going to make that $690, $924, and I'll cover the 12 cents if we go over, if that's okay?
I'll
Yeah.
make sure you're good on that.
Yeah, so would entertain a motion to approve the bid award to Milestone concerning the Stony Deer Bike
I'll
Park
make a-
improvements.
I'll go ahead and make that motion that we approve the contract with Milestone Contractors in the amount not to exceed $694,000 for the Stone Eater Bike
So
Park.
690.
690, 924.
690?
924, yeah.
Okay, 690. And for the paving, for the park there.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
A second from Alan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Do we need to add anything for subject to approval and the mayor's signature on that contract there at the end or anything?
I'm sorry, I thought I mentioned that, but I don't know it was in the motion. Yes, the motion would need to be amended to be subject to legal review and authorizing the mayor to
We'll
sign.
submit, I'll make that motion to amend that, to add that to that.
So, motion to approve as amended. All in favor, say aye.
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, that amended motion is approved. Okay, next would be a change order request for the council chambers AV equipment upgrades.
Thank you very much. As I mentioned in my report, we're updating the AV equipment in this room and the room behind us there, as well as the sound and audiovisual and broadcasting booth at the back of the chambers. As we were going through the process, kicking it off, part of the project is to include sort of video conferencing capabilities for the conference room in the next room behind the chambers. And we realized we didn't really have any equipment to put on the table. We were going to force everyone to plug into the walls behind us. So what this is for is to add these pockets into the tables whereby people could plug laptops and audiovisual equipment right into the table and not have to string cords across the room to the walls. So just something we didn't think about as we were scoping the project, but we think is a valid addition. And so we have a proposal from AV Designers, who's the contract holder on this, to provide that conference table upgrade at a cost of $2,098.37. Again, 2098.37.
Yeah, I got a question. The way that room is usually set up most of the time, and we got those 4 tables up here on this end. Okay, so there'll be a box like this in the middle of the table that everybody could plug into, okay?
Yes.
And there's a plug somewhere in the ground, okay? Just for instance, should those tables be moved, is there other locations in the room that they could plug into to get that, I'm just,
Yes.
out of the box, I'm thinking, what if we line it up with one long table, we've got several people sitting at the table?
Yes, to your
Is there-
point, absolutely. This is just to get that equipment from the wall to the table, but it is already at the wall. Not to mention, the room already has built-in wireless connections. So this is more for people to be able to directly, if they need a hard connection, but probably more appropriately or more often what it would be used for is for power cords at the table for people plugging in their laptops. But yes, it could all be disconnected from the wall, moved around the room as it's needed. And the whole room will be set up with conferencing abilities. So the technology is pretty cool nowadays. You don't need that conference mic hub on the middle of the table. It's actually on the wall and the ceiling above you that records all sound in the room and records all video of the room. It's a pretty unique piece of equipment that we're installing back there. We're excited to have that capability.
And you have to turn that on, right? It's not like a Nixon tapes situation, right?
Correct, yes. It is not constantly recording.
Yeah,
no.
fair enough. Just wanted to clarify for the people who know their history. Yeah, Kevin, I apologize. Sorry.
On page 2 of this, I mean, I see the 2098.37, but there's a grand total on page 2 of 3814.84. You see that? The equipment is 2098.37, but then it's got miscellaneous parts adjustments.
I'm sorry, yes. You're right. You're right. I didn't scroll all the way down onto my screen here. I'm sorry. That is the $2,098.37 is for the equipment. You've got then $73.46 worth of miscellaneous adjustments to the room, and then you've got labor for installation of $1,643.01. A total change order cost of $3,814.84. So thank you, Tanya, for pointing that out. Sorry I overlooked that, but yes, that is the final total if you scroll down to the last page on the change order.
Any further questions on that? Would entertain a motion, this is change order number 1, correct?
Change order number 1.
Okay, would entertain a motion to approve change order number 1?
I will make an approval, or make a motion to approve change order, what's the number?
Number 1.
1.
No, but it's for $3,814.84 for the AV equipment upgrade.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
A second from Dick. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is approved. All right, road closure request, County Road 450 North.
Thank you very much. In fact, might be helpful if I could share my screen here. Let's see if this works. I know Major Hood was having some problems. Sorry, I think I have to change Wi-Fi connections here. Okay.
No luck?
No luck.
Sometimes paper still just works.
Yes, sorry, I should have printed off paper copies for you, but this is a short-term closure for County Road 450 North, adjacent to, I've got it on my screen, I'm good. Adjacent to the Lilly site. This is, thank you. We can turn the Elmo machine on, guys. Do I need to turn it on? Dramatic pause. Again, this is for work associated with the Eli Lilly project. This is to cross County Road 450 North, just east of Witt Road. And this will be a one-day closure when they are just crossing that road with storm sewers. Well, that's a lot of glare there. Sorry, should have checked the audio-visual components here, but this is just a one-day closure again for the project. Work to be done by Poindexter Excavating in association with the Lilly project. They already have signs providing advance notice of the closure. This will be a one-day closure. It's anticipated to start, the work will start on the 24th. They will have a one-day closure. They'll wrap everything up on the 26th. They will only have it closed for a 24-hour period, and then they will open it with plates over the road to get traffic back through. So again, just asking for your approval to allow Poindexter Excavating, which is the applicant, to close County Road 450 North, just east of Witt Road, for a storm sewer crossing.
Question on that from the board? Would entertain a motion to approve the road closure request for County Road 450 North.
I'll make a motion, we approve the road closure request for County Road 450 North.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
A second from Alan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is approved. All right, and finally, contract recommendation for the Lebanon Police Department building.
Thank you.
Repairs.
I also mentioned this in my report. This goes back to November. We had some quotes put together for work on the sewer system, the underslab sewer systems, and some of the fixtures in the police station. We've got an unfortunate situation there with sewage that back up through the floor drains, toilets that are leaking. Really, we got a building that I think was built in the early 1960s. Probably has not had a whole lot of upgrades since. So we need to make some repairs there because we really have a public health situation there with a public building and sewage backing up onto the floor. So pursuant to to our ability to enter into contracts under emergency situations, we would like that. Again, we had quoted this in November. We were actually going to re-quote it and look at doing some more extensive work. But in light of a situation that has gotten worse in the last week, we would like you to consider awarding a contract to AAA Plumbing. And this will follow right in with the next item on your agenda, which is a resolution 2024-01 authorizing us to do this under an emergency declaration. Which does loosen some of the public noticing and bid law requirements associated with the project.
Probably just better to take these as one together, right? And so you may have Rob read the resolution.
I was thinking we should approve the resolution first.
That's what I was thinking, yep.
Yep.
Okay.
We did, I guess just to elaborate, we did seek 5 different quotes. We only received 2 quotes. So we're asking, though, based on our recommendation, is to go with AAA Plumbing is the most extensive.
Sure.
And most extensive and complete proposal that we received. And in interviewing the contractor, we feel confident they understand the problem and how to fix it. And that's who we're recommending we go with based on our recommendations, and that is then tied into the resolution that is before you.
Rob, can you read the resolution, please?
Thank you, Mayor and Board. Resolution 2024-01 approves entering into the contract for plumbing repairs. Pursuant to the city's Unified Development Ordinance, this board is designated the purchasing agent for the city. This board, on behalf of the city and upon declaration of an emergency, can contract for a public works project without advertising for bids if bids or quotes are invited from at least 2 persons known to deal in public work required to be done. Whereas the existing sanitary sewer systems at the Lebanon Police Department has failed, causing discharge of sewer gases and sewage into the interior of the facility, creating a public health emergency for the police officers, the police department employees, and any member of the public who enters into the facility. AAA Plumbing Inc. has provided a quote to the City of Lebanon Police Department for the repairs for the failure of the sewer blockage and other failing plumbing equipment in the amount of $64,900. This board believes that AAA Plumbing, Inc. would correct and restore the plumbing system failures within the facility. Therefore, be it resolved, this board approves the city's entering into the service contract with AAA Plumbing, Inc. for the purposes of repairing failing sanitary sewer and other plumbing systems in the Lebanon Police Department, and this resolution shall be in full force and effect upon its execution.
Thank you, Rob. Any public comment concerning Resolution 2024-01? Okay. We all agree we can fix the toilets? All right. Any discussion from the board? Okay. We entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2024-01.
I'll make
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion that we approve the emergency resolution 2024-01 as presented.
Motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alan, or Dick, apologize. All those fair say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved. All right, Chief, we're getting your plumbing fix there. There you go. All right, that concludes what I have for new business. Anything from the board? Okay, move on to claims. Into a motion.
Make a motion, we pay claims.
Motion to pay the claims. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alan. All fair say aye.
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 Opposed? All right, claims are approved. Any announcements or discussion? Okay, we entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, our next Board of Works meeting will be February 26th at 6:15 PM. The 16th on the agenda was incorrect, so February 26th at 6:15. We are adjourned.